On this episode of Cape Media News, Cape Cod Mass Appeal provides apparel for people in need. The Atlantic White Shark Conservancy's Gills Club engages girls in STEM science. And the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival returns to Hyannis. These stories and more, this is Cape Media News. This is Cape Media News, your local authentic newscast for Cape Cod. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. Thank you for joining us. The Harwich Fire Department celebrated the opening of a brand new firehouse in East Harwich last Monday, January 27th. The new facility took just 18 months to build and features separate quarters for men and women firefighters. It also has modern heating and cooling, decontamination areas for gear, and separate storage for personal protective equipment. A small ceremony was held to officially open the station, which is located at 1464 Orleans Road, right across from Stop and Shop. Fire Chief Norman Clark Jr. thanked the town of Harwich for the new facility, which will allow the fire department to better serve Harwich long into the future. Are you or is someone you know struggling to make ends meet and in need of accessible clothing? Well, then look no further than Cape Cod Mass Appeal. Since 1991, Mass Appeal has offered free clothing, books, shoes, and linens for people in need, free of cost and free of judgment. Cape Media News visited their shop in Wellfleet earlier this week to learn more. Emily Tulloch reports.
Although our beautiful beaches and lush mansions put Cape Cod on the map as a wealthy and luxurious place to visit, year-round residents may live a different story. Expensive housing and seasonal employment makes it difficult to pay bills, keep food on the table, and have enough money left to buy clothes. That's where Cape Cod Mass Appeal comes in. Built on the mission of assisting and empowering individuals and families by improving the quality of life in Massachusetts, Cape Cod Mass Appeal is a nonprofit that provides free clothing, shoes, books, and bedding to anyone in need.
There are poor people all over the Cape. It's especially true off-season when there's no tourists and the fishing is limited, the restaurants are closed, and there are a lot of people in need. Mass Appeal is an organization that provides free clothing, mostly to the communities on the Outer Cape, from Eastham, Wellfleet, Truro, and Provincetown. Although we're not limited, anybody can walk in the shop. And people come in, and at this point, they're allowed to take 20 items each time they come in. We have no application. We have no means testing. You just come in. We say hello.
They've been at their current location in Wellfleet for over 25 years, but recently faced a potential eviction.
We received a letter from our landlord that we needed to quit the premises by January 31st. And it came as quite a shock. But the good news is that our attorney and our landlord have worked together, and so now we're able to stay here.
Mass Appeal gets support from community donations and volunteers that help run the store. They also receive grants from the surrounding towns.
We ask people to sign out when they're done shopping. We do this because we need to know how many people from each town are using our facility, because we get grants from the 4 towns of the Outer Cape. We need to provide them the information about how many people from their communities are using our facilities. And then we have a donation box, and it's totally up to the people. Some people can't make a donation. Some people make small donations. Other people may make a larger donation. So that helps us with our finances. And if you think about it, if people can get free clothing, then whatever their restricted finances are, they can use for other things such as food and rent and health care. So it's not just that we give them clothes, it's just it frees up their other limited funding.
All products must be in good condition to be considered for donation. If the quality doesn't meet certain guidelines, they are given to other organizations that can use them.
The clothes are donated. We ask for new or gently used clothing. It has to be clean. All the buttons have to be working. Zippers have to be working. Clothing comes in that is not acceptable for us. We will wrap it up and put it in the Salvation Army bins that are right behind our building. So nothing goes to waste because Salvation Army will either use it, repair it, or recycle it. And if we get linens and towels that aren't up to our acceptance, we send those to various animal clinics or the Animal Rescue League in Brewster.
Mass Appeal is open 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday. For more information, visit CapeCodMassAppealInc.com. In Wellfleet for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tulloch.
Cape Cod Mass Appeal is located at 2393 Cove Corner in Wellfleet. Follow them on Facebook or visit them at CapeCodMassAppealInc.com. Up next, we learn about Gills Club with the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy.
We were selling our home after 30 years. Amazing how much stuff you can collect in your basement over time. So many things we wanted to keep, but even more we had to part with or throw away. As I was sorting through things, I came across an old glass jar of elemental mercury. I didn't even remember where or why I had it hanging around, but I knew I didn't want to throw it in the trash.
Elemental mercury, mercury-containing items, and other hazardous materials can accumulate when we don't know what to do with them or how to contain them safely. Elemental mercury is a silver liquid. It is many times stored in glass jars and old containers. Here are some simple do's and don'ts when it comes to elemental mercury. Never dump or dispose elemental mercury or items that contain mercury, like old thermometers, barometers, watch batteries, or CFL bulbs, into the trash. If you find elemental mercury in an old container, always call to have someone remove it for you. Do not try to transport elemental mercury to a hazmat collection facility yourself. Always ask if what you are throwing away might contain mercury or be hazardous. Go online or contact your city or town to find out what type of mercury collection program is available to get the right assistance with containment.
Our new living situation will change, but our love and concern for the environment will always be the same. It was easy to take a moment and do the right thing and make a difference.
Believe it or not, shark science is a whole lot more kid-friendly than you think. It's also now more accessible to girls, thanks to the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy's Gills Club, a monthly meetup that's designed to empower the next generation of female shark scientists. To learn more about Gills Club, we joined them at the Cape Cod Museum of Natural History in Brewster, where they were learning all about shark brains. Tamora Israel reports.
Science isn't a boys' club anymore. The Gills Club is helping girls reach their STEM goals by connecting them with female scientists from around the world.
The main purpose with our Gills Club events is to have a hands-on learning experience for young girls and really connect them to the different avenues of STEM. And we're using their excitement and their interest in sharks to really foster an interest in STEM, to empower them to go on and try to pursue a STEM career.
The Gills Club is an education initiative of the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy.
The Gills Club is a direct education initiative of the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy. So the funding for this program comes from the Conservancy. However, we are incredibly fortunate to have partners like the Cape Cod Museum of Natural History. They donate this space to us at no cost, so then we can have the event at no cost to these families. A lot of times when you see scientists portrayed in the media, it's males. So we are really trying to connect them to the females who do work in these fields, so they have role models, as well as just show them, the different principles that would be used in a STEM career, so that they start to get that understanding. So as they go into junior high, high school, as they're thinking about their next steps, they have an idea of what that would take and what it would be, and hopefully they're getting an interest in it so that they're going to want to pursue that.
Nora and her family drive from Connecticut to Brewster monthly to attend the Gills Club.
Since I was probably 11, I wanted to become a shark biologist. you don't hear many achievements made by female scientists these days, and you didn't really in the past. But now that like I feel like my generation can change that. Like there's now more females who are interested in engineering and science, and I feel like I could be a part of that change.
My favorite part about Gills Club is educating children and seeing kids that had the same passion I did growing up and being able to help them grow with that passion. First Gills Club meeting was in January of my 6th grade year. Here I am 7 years later, still volunteering.
The Gills Club uses multiple learning strategies to keep their young minds engaged and thinking.
Our hands-on event today, it's actually going to be building a model of the brain. So they're going to use clay and pipe cleaners to actually build the brain, and then the pipe cleaners will be used to show those connective nerves for how the different sensory organs then connect to the brain. And so then we're going to talk about the reaction time. There's still a lot to learn actually when you look at the shark brain. So for some of them, we're going to go back to the human version, but get them thinking and even, try to plant that seed for one of these young girls to pursue a PhD one day to better understand the reaction time of sharks when their senses are alerted.
For more information or to get involved, visit their website at gillsclub.org. In Brewster, for Cape Media News, I'm Tamora Israel.
If you're interested in learning more about the Atlantic White Shark Conservancy's STEM-based education initiative, the Gills Club, visit them online at gillsclub.org. Well, kids aren't the only ones having fun these days. The Cape Adult Sports League is encouraging adults of all ages to get on the court and play ball. And while we all know that playing sports is a great way to stay in shape, it's also one of the best ways to make new friends and keep busy during Cape Cod's cold winter months. We met with Sean Conway, founder of the Cape Adult Sports League, to learn more. Emily Tulloch reports.
Ready, go!
What could be more exciting on a Wednesday night than grabbing some friends and playing dodgeball? If that sounds like a good time, Cape Adult Sports League has you covered. Established in 2014, Cape Adult Sports League, also known as CASTLE, has over 1,400 participants and hosts a variety of activities, including dodgeball.
I started CASTLE, the Cape Adult Sports League, about 5 years ago. Basically, it was like I first moved back to the Cape, and I was trying to just get things to do and ways to meet people on the Cape and get active. And the way I've always done it through my entire life has always been through like sports and through activities. And so I'd go and you find that common interest where you play hockey, you play soccer, and then from there you end up having that connection, and then you build the friendships from there. So right now we do Monday nights, we do soccer. Wednesday night we do dodgeball, and then come summertime we do that as kickball. And then we do floor hockey on Fridays, we do flag football on Sundays, and then we try and do like some cornhole activities and some just straight social events. Not just straight athletics for it, we try and be more social. We have all different skill levels that play for it, so we try and have everyone involved and just have a great time and meet new people and new friends.
It can be difficult finding activities to stay productive during the winter months on Cape Cod. CASTLE is one alternative, which participants are saying keeps them active while having fun and building friendships.
Needed a little something fun to do, something to give myself something to look forward to each week, and it's just a great way to meet some of the year-round local residents down here.
I think it's just a great night to get out and have some fun and meet wonderful new people. I work a lot, so this is like my fun night, is to come out and hang out and play different sports.
During the winter, living in Eastham, it's very slow, and it's nice to get out on a Wednesday night and see people and enjoy our time playing, having fun, and getting exercise as well.
Over the years, some players have met their significant others, close friends, and employees through these gatherings.
We'll actually have an employee that now works for me that I got from CASTLE.
I've made so many friends. We've gone and done different things. We hang out after, but sometimes during the week or the weekends we'll get together, we'll do things. We'll go bowling, we'll go to a park, we'll hang out, we'll have a fire. It's just awesome.
I think we just had our 12th wedding that actually took place over the past year. So 5 years we've had 12 weddings, and I think there's 3 or 4 kids that we're at right now for it. So it's a pretty solid amount of numbers for it. And my thing is it's a good way to meet people instead of you have a lot of the interactions where you go and you just interview with people, or you try and meet people through networking. And I think with that it's more like what you do instead of what you're actually interested in. So with this you actually build it and you're like, all right, so I like the sports, I like the activities, and you really meet the connection from that. And then you have that true personal connection with the person, and you find out what they do. And then the true friendships actually blossom out of that, which I like.
The league hosts events and trips outside of sports with the intention of expanding social circles and building a positive community. This also helps local restaurants stay busy during the off-season.
Like we partner with a lot of the social, with a lot of the pubs and restaurants that are around the area for it. So we have like Bunsey's, the Cleat and Anchor, Sea Dog's been one for it. We have the Den, which just started up locally for it. So trying to get a lot of the businesses there during the winter time. They're usually a little bit slower. And like a Wednesday night is a slower night for them. So we'll bring in 67 people. So it's good and gets people active, and they'll put out some free food and get us all together for it and go from there.
For more information about Cape Adult Sports League, visit sports.capecodchatter.com or visit them on Facebook. In South Dennis, for Cape Media News, I'm Emily Tulloch.
To find out how you can join the Cape Adult Sports League, find them on Facebook or visit sports.capecodchatter.com. Up next, the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival returns to Cape Cod.
My folks were moving after 30 years. It's incredible how much stuff we just kept finding as we cleaned out the house. So many things they wanted to keep, but even more they had to part with or throw away. As we were cleaning out the tool shed, I came across an old glass jar of elemental mercury. I had no idea why my dad had held onto it, but I knew we had to be careful with how we disposed of it.
Elemental mercury, mercury-containing items and other hazardous materials can accumulate when we don't know what to do with them or how to contain them safely. Elemental mercury is a silver liquid. It is many times stored in glass jars and old containers. Here are some simple do's and don'ts when it comes to elemental mercury. Never dump or dispose elemental mercury or items that contain mercury, like old thermometers, barometers, watch batteries, or CFL bulbs into the trash. If you find elemental mercury in an old container, always call to have someone remove it for you. Do not try to transport elemental mercury to a hazmat collection facility yourself. Always ask if what you're throwing away might contain mercury or be hazardous. Go online to contact your city or town to find out what type of mercury collection program is available to get the right assistance with containment.
With just a phone call, we were able to get instructions and assistance from our town on what to do next. And it felt good that we were doing the right thing for ourselves and the environment.
Welcome back to Cape Media News. I'm Gabrielle Rawson. For more than 50 years, the Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival has united college students from around the country with theater industry professionals to celebrate and acknowledge all the hard work that goes into the performing arts. Through scholarship opportunities, internships, and nearly 100 workshops in topics ranging from stage combat to stage management, KCACTF has become one of the year's most anticipated events. I spoke with several students from Western Connecticut University as they were registering for the Irene Ryan Foundation Awards competition on day one of the festival. I asked them what goes into getting ready for such an amazing opportunity. Let's watch. The Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival is back, bringing together thousands of performing arts students from all over New England who want to network and strengthen their craft through workshops, conferences, and regional-level scholarship and award programs. Every year, KCACTF honors excellence in playwriting, acting, dramatic criticism, directing, and design. One of the most anticipated events is the Irene Ryan Foundation Award Program, a competition that gives students the chance to compete for scholarship money.
So there's 3 rounds. We have 202 Irene Ryans this year that will go in the preliminary round and then be 36 going into the semifinals. And from 36 we have to wean it down to 16, and then from that 16 only one will have the chance to go to the Kennedy Center in DC in April, and one of those 8 will be receiving the Irene Ryan Acting Scholarship.
To compete, the students must prepare 3 separate audition pieces: a 1-minute monologue or song, a 2-minute scene with a partner, and a 3-minute scene. If they are lucky enough to advance through the competition, they'll perform their total 6-minute package in the final round.
They make it to the finals, down to 16. They'll do their whole package. They'll do their 1-minute scene / monologue, their 1-minute monologue, the 2-minute scene, and the 3-minute scene for a total of 6-minute package. And it's a lot. It's pretty intense when you think about it, because you're not doing a whole play. You're doing, you're performing a scene in just 2 minutes, 3 minutes, and there's a lot that we have to or selectors have to see and get out of it. It's a great tool, great way for students to see other talents as well, but also too to really hone in their skills.
Preparing for the Irene Ryans is a lot of work.
This is my 4th year here, so I'll be competing in the Irenes again with my friend, and we're gonna have fun.
Yeah, this is my first year. It's my senior year, so I'm excited.
You know, we practice a lot when we're at school. We meet with our teachers, our mentors, and they'll help us out. We do like a showcase, and so everybody gets to see what everybody's doing.
For me, it was more in terms of what would be the better package. I figured out 3 different things that were going to show off 3 different state abilities that I have as an actor. So it was all about thinking about things that would contrast with each other. And then I also did things that I'm comfortable with, in terms of one scene, I'm doing a Shakespeare scene because I feel comfortable with that, and I know that that's a good skill to have, and it's nice to show. And then I'm also doing a scene that I've already done and a monologue that I've already done. So there are things that I've already worked on in the past that were it was just all about getting it back up on its feet.
You have to really practice a lot. I mean, first you have to find your scenes, which can be difficult because you have to find what's compatible for both people, both partners, and I don't know, just lots of practice and memorizing and kind of figuring out what works best.
Although competing can be stressful, the KCACTF Festival is a lot of fun.
It's always fun to just meet new people and, learn more things.
It's just fun to be, I think, in a place with a bunch of other people that love theater just as much as I do, you know what I mean? It's just a place of people who all have the same interest. It's all very lighthearted, it's fun. It is a competition, but it's also, it's nice to see others perform, and it's nice to be with others that also love to perform,
Everybody just comes here and loves it, and we can sing, and we meet everybody, network and everything, so it's a very neat experience that we get to do this.
The Kennedy Center American College Theater Festival runs January 28th through February 1st at the Hyannis Resort and Conference Center. In Hyannis, for Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson. A total of 8 finalists, 1 student from each region across the country, will meet later this year to compete in the final round of the Irene Ryans at the John F. Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. If you'd like to learn more about the Kennedy Center American Theater Festival, visit kcactf.org. Well, that brings this episode of Cape Media News to a close. Please follow us on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. And thank you so much for watching. Please join us next week for a behind-the-scenes look at Cape Cod's Dancing with the Docks. With Cape Media News, I'm Gabrielle Rawson.